minutes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome. We'll begin by reviewing the draft minutes of our previous meeting held on March 20th, 2023. Just want to bring to attention some clarification needed on page 2. It's the third line up from the bottom. It's regarding accidents on South Lake Avenue. If we could just kind of mention that are motor vehicle accidents. And then again, for clarification on page 9, line 13, regarding Mr. Halsey's property and the location. While it's in the neighborhood of Harrington Farms, it's not been buttered to Harrington Farms. And noting those two clarifications, I make a motion to approve the draft minutes of a regular meeting held March 20th, 2023 with a member second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Sean Schmidt. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Approved with those clarifications. Next, we'll review the agenda for tonight's meeting, noting that we'll begin with a public hearing. It's on sign variances for 831 Hoosick Road, Ace Hardware, followed by the Bolson Appeal, 63 Indian Creek Lane. We have 3 new businesses to add to the agenda. Number 1 being on 5 Easy Street, looking for an above-ground pool, followed by 793 Pauling Avenue, and then lastly, 666 Hoosick Road, Aroma Joe's, also a sign variance. So we'll start with our first item, which is a public hearing for 831 Hoosick Road. Would the applicant like to come up and just kind of give us a brief overview of the project? And please note if there have been any changes since the last time we were here.
My name is Thomas Dingley, and what the applicant is asking for is truly just an addition of the digital sign and to replace what we have already for a fixed street sign. So we're asking for a variance of roughly 44 to 48 square feet. 42 feet.
And that's per sign, the first of 42 feet.
Well, the one sign we're replacing is very similar in size to what we're going to provide. So it's really just the addition of the digital sign for the existing, and we're changing height of it as well.
And then also the number of signs. You mentioned that.
Correct, we're adding one more. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Chairperson Fuente, if I can, just for purposes of disclosure for this board, the owner of the Ace Hardware store located in Brunswick, after the town had approved that store, has retained my office, and I've worked for that owner in other Ace Hardware locations in the Capital District, not in Brunswick. This is the first matter that's come before the town of Brunswick in the nature of the sign variance. I want to disclose that. They'll represent Mr. Dingley, they represent the owner of the Ace Hardware, and if both parties consent, I can continue to provide counsel, but I want to disclose that representation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lopez. I turn to you. Do you have any problem with Mr. Gilchrist? Staying with
Have you had any problems with them?
no.
What is it? I'm sorry, I didn't use.
Yeah, do you have any concerns about Mr. Gilchrist staying with the zoning board tonight to be our counsel on this matter?
No, not.
Do any of the zoning board members have any issues or concerns?
No.
Oh, thank you. So then we're asking to maintain. Thank you. Okay. So this is a public hearing, and the zoning board will open it, noting that the notice of public hearing was published in the Eastwood Press, which is the official municipal newspaper of the town, placed on the town signboard and posted on the town website, also mailed to all owners of adjacent property within 300 feet.
I'll read that. Notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held by the zoning board of appeals of the town of Brunswick at 6 p.m. on Monday, April 17, 2023, at the Brunswick Town Hall, 336 Town Office Road, Brunswick, New York, 12180, concerning the application submitted by Foreman Forge, Thomas Kingley, for 2 sign variances in connection with an Ace Hardware on property located at 831 Hoosick Road. The application requests 2 sign variances. The first to increase the total square footage of an existing freestanding sign, and the second pertaining to the total number of signs in the same. Copies of the application are available at the Brunswick Town Hall and are available for public inspection during regular business hours. All interested persons will be heard at the public.
Yeah, thank you very much. So if there's anyone who'd like to come up and speak, you're welcome to do so. Chuck, have there been any written comments?
We have had no written or email comments.
Are there any questions from the zoning board members for the applicant? I just have a question, Mr. Dinwiddie, you can kind of come up to the podium, please. So if there's a breakdown in the increase in size for the 2 signs that are being proposed, the wooden sign and the electronic sign, is there a breakdown on the dimensions of each of those signs?
There should be on the drawing. I thought we attached drawings to all the copies.
Yeah, this one.
So, Chuck, do you see a breakdown? I see a total number.
Oh. You wanted it per sign, so we can do that. That's because I think I have one of yours. No, you do. Because I have one. It's like page.
We missing a sheet on that truck, is that just one was on that one originally?
2 sheets, yeah, like what, I think what the chairperson is asking for is that split out, so that's just what I'm gonna do.
Oh, the 2 square footage of each?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, it's 4.8 by 7.6. And that's the fixed sign.
Which so you're at 30.4 on that.
Let's see if I wrote it down.
Is that there now, John? 30.4 on the east.
And then the second is 4.10. Sorry, I thought this was on the application. It was on the one I had on my computer. I probably forgot to print that sheet.
That's great.
7.6 by 4.10. Yeah, 4.10 by 7.6.
It's 36.48. First number was 30.4.
30.4. Okay,
So fixed sign is 30.4 square feet, and the digital sign was what, 34?
36.48.
36.
Yeah. Slate or sheet of
I
plywood?
think roughly what we have up there for a fixed sign right now is, it was a 4x6. So, 4x6.
Yeah, because you have the arched top
It's true.
on that sign.
Yeah. So the entire structure, including the garden bed that hasn't been, very well maintained, that would be leaving. It was still structured to support both the digital and the fixed.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not right.
Because this
That's incorrect.
one is small.
Mhm.
But not that big. Sorry, too much.
Yeah. Chairman Clementi, the Ace Hardware sign is 35.62. 7.6 being 7.5, 4.8 being 4.5. So,
And the digital sign is correct at 36.4.
yes. Yes. I don't know if John heard that or not.
Yeah. The current sign?
Current sign,
Well, what's the
Let's be the first.
35.60.
So that's gonna be the new one.
Correct.
Yep. And then
New
digital.
digital sign. 6.4.
I'm not sure, on your paper is different from my papers. Is there an area for the 911 number to be located?
An address, 911? Yeah, I'm sure we can make room.
I think you've been doing that historically, asking people to put that on there.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. We can amend the drawings, unless you allow me that to do it and just get the approval from the building.
Even if it can be on the side,
On the side.
on the actual, steel structure.
Okay. I could have something sketched up and just bring it in for you. That works.
So 911 number is on the building, right over the front door.
Right.
But not on the signage here.
Yeah.
Would be advisable.
Are there any other questions from any zoning board members? John, you doing some calculations over there? You doing some calculations?
I'm not aware if there's any restrictions as far as the changing of the sign, but just for record, they don't intend on changing it probably once a week, if not longer, and once a month. They generally use their digital signs for sales, seasonal products, but it won't be changing every 2 minutes or anything near that to create any kind of obstruction or, cause concern on the traffic passing by.
The town zoning laws kind of spell out how that should go.
15 seconds.
Right. So that could be a condition.
But it's already-
Understood that,
Yeah.
right.
It's already stipulated.
Well, it's already required, because that's the town sign law, so there are limitations on changing the message or rotating the digital part of the sign, but that's in the town sign law too, so.
So hearing no public comment, I make a motion to close the public hearing with November 2nd. Thank you, Tom. All in favor? Aye. public hearing portion of this application is closed. The zoning board members are prepared to deliberate and act on the application. We'll note that the Brunswick County Bureau of Economic Development and Planning has acted and noted that local consideration shall prevail. And as this is a non-residential seeker review process, there's a short environmental assessment form that has been submitted with the application. And noting that, I'll just say that the board knows that there will not be at least one significant adverse environmental impact from this proposed action. So the zoning board members can review the standards.
Right, what you say.
Oh, okay, so, I'm sorry, so, make a motion to adopt the negative declaration under seeker with a member second.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, John Miller. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. The board is asked to explain how no undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood nor detriment to nearby properties created by granting the area variances.
The new sign will be consistent with all the other signs that most of the other commercial buildings on the 7.
I would take exception to that, that as an electronic sign, it wouldn't, but we're not making a decision on the electronic sign. So in this neighborhood, if you have to go to Sikaway to find another electronic sign, Brunswick One Fire Department having one, and then going to Center Brunswick, having the next electronic sign going on that corridor would be the town offices or the Center Brunswick Firehouse. But as we're not deciding the variance being the location or the right to be an electronic sign and just the number and the size of the sign. So I understand your point and that was carried. And then we're asked to explain why the benefits sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance. The applicant stated that the sign is outdated and is looking to bring in more commercial traffic with the addition of the sign. We're asked to describe whether the requested area variances are substantial, noting that they're going from what's allowed, what they have due to a previous area variance. 7 signs, they're going to 9 signs, and they'll be over by 2 square feet. And I would say no, that this, in this case, these requested area variances are not substantial. And the board is asked to explain how the proposed area variances will not have adverse effects on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. And generally, we look at this in regards to creation of runoff or noise, dust, increase in like security, safety services, but I don't think that this has any sort of adverse effect. If you want to look at the condition of visual effect, because of being an electronic sign, the zoning law clearly regulates how the illumination and how that should be done. And then lastly, the board is asked to explain whether the difficulty is self-created, noting that consideration is relevant, but shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variances.
It is self-created because they want to change the look of the, they want to update the sign, going digital is, I think, the seeming of that. So, It's definitely self-created. Good reason.
Well, if there's no further deliberation, the board will weigh the balance between the benefit to the applicant is weighed and against a detriment to the community at large or the neighborhood in particular. To determine to grant the requested area variances.
I'll make a motion to grant the variance.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
So the assigned variances under Article 10 have been granted. Kindly continue the work that you're doing with our hardware rebuilding project.
All right, thank you so much.
Right, and I think we will note for the record, there was discussion about the addition of the 911 address that will add something, but presuming the motion was to approve the variances inclusive of the addition of the 911.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Church.
Okay, next we have Olson, 63 Indian Creek Lane appeal. Switch our representation.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing?
Thank you for coming tonight.
So the board will recall that at the last meeting on March 20th, I believe it was, the board made a determination by vote to dismiss Mr. Wilson's appeal to the ZBA for lack of jurisdiction. Since that last meeting, I prepared a written decision which memorializes the basis for that determination. If the board is prepared to adopt that decision as a written decision in this matter, it can be advanced with a motion to adopt the written decision, and that will conclude in that. Unless the board members have any questions for me.
No question.
So the zoning board members had read the draft prepared by Christopher Lanois, who is serving as special counsel to the zoning board of appeals for the appeal, and are ready to review the written draft decision. Also ready to adopt the written decision dismissed in the appeal as drafted in the written letter. So I make a motion to adopt the written decision to dismiss the appeal as drafted in the letter. Would a member second?
Second.
Thank you, John Schmidt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So a copy of the written decision is going to be filed with the town clerk's office, presumably tomorrow. I've indicated to Mr. Wilson's attorneys that I will send to him, Mr. Miranda, and Mr. Tejan, a copy of that date stamp decision, so they will have a copy. And with that, that concludes it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Rick. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night. Under new business, we have 5 Easy Street, Eugene and Lisa Mesnick. This is in zoning district R15. The applicants propose a 15 by 33 oval above ground pool on a corner lot. Would the applicant like to come up just give us a little overview of your project. Thanks. Hi, how are you tonight?
I'm good.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for hearing my situation. My name is Lisa Messick. I reside at 5 Easy Street. And we would like to install an above-ground pool for swimming, of course, for swimming. It wouldn't be more recreational, it would be more laps for fitness and AKA therapy for me. Multi-generational household. And, well, things are gonna get harder. Things are not gonna get easier. So, I am a swimmer and currently right now I'm just going to the Y. So that would just fit into our world a lot better. And we have a problem with their footage being on the corner lot off of Easy Street. As I understand it, it's a little complicated in my world, but as I understand it, we have trouble with footage coming off Downey Road and Easy Street.
You have 2 front setbacks. Yes.
Thank you.
I can see that, right, so, thank you for the drawing that we included in the application. And we're considering, Easy Street as front, so what's required is 60 feet setback, and what is being proposed is 36 feet.
Correct.
And then on the left side, that would be Downing Street,
Yes.
what's required 60 feet, and what's being proposed is 10.5 feet.
Yes.
And then the rear, what's required is 20 feet, and what's being proposed is 11 feet. And the rear, are you up against a neighbor back there?
Myself. We own.
Okay. Are there any other locations on your property that could possibly, you could locate the pool?
We've considered that if we moved it in the back of the yard, then my mother-in-law, who doesn't get around quite well, all she's gonna be staring at is the home of the pool. And then my septic is on the other side. If I move it over to Downey Road, now we're on a different property. Should we have the need to sell that, that's gonna complicate everything.
And it's indicated on your rendering that that's a hill, so between the proposed pool location and Downey, is it inclined, is?
Downey Road sits up higher, and then there's a bank, so we would have to cut into the bank a bit. Let's see. It would be about 4 or 5 feet, we would have to cut into the bank and support that with a retaining wall.
And you mentioned a fence. Is there a fence currently?
No, there is
Around
not.
So
No, so we are hoping to put the fence up. So it would be, I think, 20 feet from the center of Downey Road and then a privacy fence across where the pool would be. And then also a fence on Easy Street as well.
And in your application, the way that you answered number 5, which asks about whether or not this difficulty is self-created, I didn't understand your answer. Could you kindly go over that?
Sure. My mother-in-law is 81 years old and is in bad need of knee replacement. So I'd say 98% of her time is sitting in front of the TV, listening to it quite loudly. In all honesty, it's a Chinese water culture. Just saying. I love her. I'll do anything for her. However, I do need to find ways to live there peaceably. And so I hope that clarifies my answer.
Okay, so it would be, so you would be using the pool to kind of get away from,
Yes.
just wanted to understand. I get
No,
it.
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Mhm.
Thank you, John.
Right, and And if you give the zoning board members permission, we'll go out and visit this site.
Absolutely, yes, yes. You have my permission to do that.
Thank you.
That's the other beautiful part of that location is there are no windows.
From that house.
Yeah, there's a tiny little one upstairs, which you cannot access right now.
Your mother-in-law's on that you stand with the house on the left side of the house, right?
Correct. Yes.
We just, looking at the site on Friday,
Yes.
if, depending upon how far you have to go into that hill, you still have to maintain 4-foot barrier.
Right.
So that's what the pool wall for an in-ground pool acts as. But if you
Like
cannot,
above ground?
above, yeah,
Okay.
that's why they sell them at 54 inches, knowing that
Right.
most everybody's lawn isn't level. There's going to be a slight changes, and you can dig the pool in and still maintain 48 inches of sidewall. If you can't there, then the fence will have to be put up as that barrier.
I understand.
So you would have the barrier around the fence bump out to make it a privacy fence around the deck.
Got it.
So your application looks complete for the purpose of holding a public hearing, which we'll schedule next month in May. That'll be May 15th. The zoning board meets every third Monday of the month generally. And we'll schedule that for 6 PM.
Okay.
And similar to what you saw earlier in regards to the Ace Hardware sign, people will be notified, your neighbors will be notified of the public hearing. You'll have the opportunity to come in, speak for or against the application. If anybody wants to submit a letter or email to that effect, that's also welcome. And we'll go from there. That would go to, yes.
Thank you for making me comfortable on the hearing.
Yeah, no, we're glad you're here, and, yeah, we do this every month, so, just continue, to work with the building department. If you have any questions for us, you can, filter them through, China Building Department.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Did you receive? I got to go back to the office.
Oh,
That's all I'm
okay.
going for you.
Okay, next up, we have 793 Pauling Ave. Seeks an area variance for the use of this lot size. Hi, thanks for coming tonight.
Yep, Sherry McCarthy with Alabama, here with Eastman Bush, the owner of the lot. We are asking for proposing 1,000-foot square building or a 2-story, 17-foot square building. Due to lot size, the area variance is needed. So we put in the paperwork, to add, we only believe it's going to improve the lot from what it is right now, but now it's looking abandoned, and then this will only make it in use.
So I just want to confirm that what you're proposing meets all setbacks. Is that correct? So there are no setbacks, front, rear, side, that
It fits.
concerns here?
Yep, it does. The variance requested is for an undersized lot. It does not make the 15,000 for a B50.
And then also it meets the requirement for lot coverage. It meets the requirements for a percentage of
Oh,
lot
yes,
coverage.
yep. Which is what, something very large. I think it's 40%. It's quite bad.
Right. So the question for council, not having seen something similar to this before, where there's no drawings, there's no renderings of what the building's going to look like. Is this a complete application without that information?
So the map that was submitted is existing condition?
Well, yes, I mean, obviously the proposed building is not there, but all of the walls are still there from the demo. And if the board remembers correctly, there was a building proposed to go right up against that.
We use one of those walls as
Yes,
wall.
yeah.
I remember.
There was gonna be another wall poured inside of that wall. Yeah. And this is entirely independent of that.
And
There.
this is an existing lot, an existing substandard lot?
Yes, yes.
I have a question about the square footage request too. So
Thanks.
so the building is either going to be a 1,000 square foot building, which according to the drawing is just a single story. But if you go 2 stories, it's going to be smaller.
Yes,
Just confirming
The
that.
code states that if you want to have 2 stories, it's 721 square foot per floor. And if you want to do a single story building, the minimum size is 1,000
So
square.
if it's 2 story, will it be 14, will it be double the 721?
It'd be per floor, so yes.
So it'd be 1420 total for the size of the building.
yeah, whatever half of it is. Did I do that wrong? think
No, I just didn't know if the single story building was going to be just single stories at 1,000 square feet. Or would that be 2,000, or would it be?
I think this particular covers both, and we're not sure, because we may get this permit for selling it. This could be an ice cream stand, it could be a jumping, I don't know what it's going to be. But I do know that it's worth more to the owner with,
No, I just didn't know if 2 stories, 710 was the total square footage, so it would have been 355
right,
each story, or 710 total for each floor, 2 story, okay.
yeah, sorry.
So the total would be 1420 if it was a 2 story.
This is not in an effort to delay anything, but I do think we need to review the zoning law on existing building on an existing substandard lot
Mhm.
with a structure that otherwise meets all the applicable setbacks and lot coverage. And whether in this case an area variance is needed, given the section of the code dealing with it's within the non-conforming uses and existing substandard lot, we should review that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
to determine whether a variance is needed. I don't know the answer as I sit here, we'll have to review the code.
It gets a little murky with the two-thirds rule, right? It would be, so your 2/3 rule, you meet the setbacks but you don't meet the lot size.
I think this is the rule. Do you want to see it?
No, I don't need to review the law tonight. We'll review that in due course. What the determination needs to be is the variance needed if there's an existing substandard lot that you would like to build on? This is different than the issue you recently had with Thane, because that was an existing substandard, a non-conforming structure.
Right.
Right.
There are rules dealing with non-conforming structures, because there you can't alter, enlarge, or change an existing non-conforming structure.
That's true.
This is a non-conforming lot for size, and different rules apply. We'll have to review that to determine if a structure is proposed to be built on a substandard lot that would otherwise meet setbacks and lot coverage requirements, is a variance needed. That will need to be reviewed.
Would like a motion to table the application till next month? I'll make a motion to table the application until next month, pending further review of the zoning law.
I second. All in favor? Aye, thank you. So we meet again in May. May 15th,
I didn't look. I should usually check before we have this meeting.
May 15th. So if you want to put that then, we'll have a determination made at that time.
Do you need any more information?
No, we've got everything we need, and if we do need any more information, Chuck will reach out.
Yeah.
But I think given the information on the size of the lot, we know the location, the board's familiar with the lot, and all you're doing, as I understand it, is proposing to construct a building that would otherwise meet setback, size, and lot coverage requirements. We just need to look at the zoning law requirements for building that structure on an existing substandard lot.
Thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you.
It's my only picture, but I'll get one to you.
Oh, yeah.
You want it back?
I handed it over to the chair.
Oh, do you want me to make a copy? I'll send it over to you.
Okay, sounds good.
You know what?
By email. That's great.
Thank you.
So next we have 666 Hoosick Road, Aroma Shows. Again, it's a sign variance. Just come on up. How are you doing tonight?
Very good, thank you.
Good. Good to hear it. You want to kind of give us an overview of the project that you're proposing and why you're seeking the variance?
Sure. My name's Larry Chesensky. I'm one of the owners of Aroma Joe's. We're seeking a sign variance to install our menu panel. And also a stush on the front of the building. It's a decor piece trademark of the brand. Just gives a visual identity as people see it.
And the spelling of that identity?
STZOOSH.
C-O-O-S-H. Do you have an alternative to this proposed variance? What else could you do?
So we need a menu panel. We are a drive-through only business. So without the menu panel, there's no way for our patrons to be able to see our product. We do not have intercoms. So we are a drive-up window, order, pickup window. So our baristas are engaging the customer. So the menu panel is absolutely necessary for people to see our product.
Didn't know you didn't have an intercom.
No intercoms.
Huh,
Yes.
yeah, that it is.
Okay.
It is, yep. And you'll see.
I had to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll,
Looks
the
like
one
the
that is
scene comes from
proposed
the-
is on the 45-degree turn angle. So it will be able to be visually seen from both front and side.
Is it concaved or something?
They cut the angle of the building down to be able to make the turn. So you have, instead of having a 90-degree corner angle, you have a 45. You put it on the 45, see it from here, see it from there.
It's iconic. We're a 100-unit brand. Stush is something that over time, as we grow as a brand, it will become visual. Somebody sees it, they'll know it.
Well, you're not wearing it on your shirt. What icon are you wearing on your shirt?
Subway.
I have a question.
Sure.
Can you please open soon?
We are trying, so unfortunately, I apologize. People I hired to do our signage, they're coming out of New Hampshire. They were not aware that there was a variance needed and kind of let me know a little late on that, but we would be open already. So,
What are your proposed hours of operation?
so we're 5 in the morning till 9 at night. Seven days a week.
That's a lot of staff.
It is. You gotta get the morning hour with the people
Yeah.
coming, and our brand is also not just coffee. We do sell some food, and we also sell some different types of drinks, and the cappuccinos and iced coffees, and et cetera.
And both the Stoosh and the Aroma Joe sign will be illuminated from behind? Is that how they're
So,
illuminated?
just the Stoosh, but the menu panel,
Yes, sorry.
the menu panel is an illuminated menu panel. It's backlit.
Both are backlit, sorry.
So the Stoosh is kind of like a halo effect, so yes. The Stoosh is very subtle, the halo effect.
So the application looks complete for the purpose of holding a public hearing, which we'll do at our next meeting when we meet on May 15th. And we have one before you at 6 o'clock, so let's say 6:15.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, Ross?
Nope, we're looking forward to open. We are gonna do a friends and family. We were slated to open May 8th. That was our target date. That's the date that corporate is set. Is there a way to do any type of like temporary menu panel or menu up there to open on the 8th? Or is there a way that we could achieve that goal and still hit that deadline?
So when you say temporary, what does temporary look like?
Could just be a piece of plywood with the menu panels mounted on it. Anything that we could do to achieve that opening would be great. Otherwise, it would push us out to the 15th. And then that means we wouldn't really open to the 16th, and Mr. Lockrow would not get any coffee.
Oh, my daughters.
Yeah.
So I have, since you're talking about that, so the menu panel, let's see, approximate size.
Put the dimensions on
By
there.
type, by
Height
height.
is probably about
Just
5
in
foot.
Pardon?
I think it's about 5 foot off the ground. on top of the menu panel.
49.5 plus the stanchions,
Yep.
23 inches here. So about 6 feet.
Yeah, it's
You gotta have-
51,
you gotta have
51,
15
15, and
on the side.
15.
It's being mounted on the side of the building, so it will not be put
Oh.
on any type of footings or anything, it'll be mounted on the side. It basically faces always. The stush, I don't need to put that up, that can wait, but it's really the menu panel. If I have a way to do it temporary, whatever I need to do.
So I have a question. So temporary would be like 30 or 60 days, so let's say the May 15th meeting, everything is kosher, how long would it take to have that other part of that sign done? Would you be another 30 days out from that? Would it be another?
No, I'd have to call the sign people back. I mean, I would schedule them for the 16th,
Right.
thinking there would be no opposition. But my thing is, I don't believe I can get corporate approval to open without a menu.
Right, I'm just thinking like that temporary menu that you're talking about, like, I mean, maybe we talk about a little bit more, and if the words were allowed, put a time on it, 60 to 90 days, something like that.
What I would advise this board is, your request for a temporary sign, certainly taken under advisement. Ultimately, that's initially a building department determination to determine whether the sign law would allow that, if there's some mechanism to address that.
In temporary.
It's really not a zoning board issue. The only issue for this board is the variance from the sign. There's no pending
Okay.
application for a temporary sign. That's something that can be reviewed by the building department.
Okay,
So other than that, we'll see in May.
that sounds very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It looks like a locking cabinet. And then just change
With those
it.
little press-in numbers, remember those?
Yeah.
Used to have those at church.
It doesn't look like a digital sign.
Are there any other issues, items in your business I can discuss tonight? Otherwise, make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting. We're going to have a second. Darrell, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Good night.
Only